so much for joining us for this live session. We are here with our team member, Florencia, who's going to give us a great lecture about the J-1.
Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining this live.
Okay, so we're going to give a few minutes before we start the live session so that more people can join us.
At the end of the live, we are going to reply. If there are a few that in the meantime, you can tell us where are you joining from.
Yes, please send us your flag, or you can write in where you're coming from, and as well as your questions. You can write them down in the comments, and we'll be so happy to have you here. We're transmitting live, so please also share this to everyone who may be interested in going to the US or learning more about the J-1 visa. Some people are already writing in, and it's amazing. We have people from Jordan, from Zimbabwe, from Mexico,
That's amazing.
South
Thank you
Africa,
for joining.
from India. So it's amazing to have so many people here joining us. Please remember, you can send us your questions, and we'll try to reply to all of them at the end of the live session.
So we have people from all over the world, Manu. So good morning, afternoon, evening to all of you. Thank you once again for joining. Thank you for your time.
So great. So I think we have quite a lot of people right now. So let's start with this live session. So again, we're here with Florencia, who's going to give us some information about the J-1 visa, specifically for the hospitality program.
Exactly. Thank you, Manu. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Florencia. I'm Senior Visa Specialist, and I'm also in charge of the in-country support team. I have 12 years of experience in hospitality. I've been working in deluxe hotels, so I feel proud to work at Placement International, where I can help young professionals to achieve their J-1 program in the US.
That is so amazing. So tell us, what is the J-1 visa and what are its main purposes or objectives?
Certainly. So first of all, I would like to clarify that the J-1 is a non-immigrant visa, which allows candidates to participate in a cultural exchange program once they are in the US. And the aim of this program is to learn and train as much as you can within the training program, and also get to know into the American business culture, while once also enhancing your English skills.
That's amazing. And how does Placement International do, or how do they help us with their visa process?
So for this question, Manuel will divide it into two. On the first stage, so would be before the visa process, and then the visa process itself. So at the beginning, when we are in contact with candidates, we assist within the recruitment process with the host company. We also select the correct and according visa type for each candidate. We coach all of them regarding the host company interview, and then we ensure they have all the proper documentation before starting the visa process. So this would be one pre-stage, and then the visa process itself, where a candidate is allocated to one visa specialist to ensure we provide a personalized service. So we need to ensure that the candidate has the proper documentation. We need to collect also the information from the host company, and then we start with the application to submit to the sponsor. That's when we need to wait for the sponsor to review and approve, and at the end we will get the eligibility form, which is one of the best and important documents, let's say, within the visa process, in order to start booking the embassy appointment. So once you get the visa approved and you have everything in order to go to the US, you will finally have an interview with us about the pre-departure. So we ensure that you have all the proper information, and you need to know the most important things to consider once you're in the US.
Okay, so speaking about once you're in the US, what kind of support services are available for J-1 visa holders once they are in the United States?
So continue with my previous answer. Once candidates are in the US, we continue providing service. That's why we have the in-country support team that I mentioned before. I'm part of this team, and we ensure candidates have their support. If they have any questions or concerns, we reply to them as soon as possible.
Amazing. And how can people stay connected or involved with the J-1 visa community even after completing their program?
Certainly. So after the program in the US and they go back home, they can keep in contact with us through our social media, and also if, well, it happens that sometimes candidates have questions or concerns, they can still call us or contact us through the DM.
Amazing. So can you please tell us a little bit about who's eligible to apply for a J-1 visa and what are its basic requirements?
Sure. So regarding the eligibility, we have different scenarios. So starting from candidates who are currently undertaking a hospitality course, so these ones are eligible. Then we have candidates who maybe have graduated, so if they have graduated within the past year, they may apply as well for the J-1 program, or candidates that have graduated more than a year ago and they have work experience for at least 1 year, they can also apply for the J-1 program. We need to consider in this case, regarding the work experience, that it has to be related to the field they are applying. So for example, if they have work experience in food and beverage, they need to apply for a food and beverage position. And finally, we have another scenario, let's say for the ones who, no matter the studies, want to go to the US for the J-1 program and they have more than 5 years of work experience, they can still apply.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the categories that are, these different categories that you mentioned?
Yes, so considering the different scenarios for applying for the J-1 program, we have 3 different types of visas. So the first one is intern. So an intern is a candidate who is currently studying, so currently undertaking a hospitality degree. It needs to be accredited by the local government, or that has graduated within the past year. So this is the intern visa type. Then we have the trainee 1-year visa type, which is for candidates who have graduated within the past, more than 1 year ago, and as well they have more than 1 year of work experience. This is for the trainee 1 year. And the trainee 5 years are for candidates that, as we said before, no matter the studies, they have at least 5 years of work experience. Always talking about the position they are applying, okay?
Amazing. And can you tell us some about the benefits of participating in a J-1 visa for international applicants?
So there are plenty of benefits for J-1 programs. I believe the most important one is that you will gain professional career, so you will develop your skills, and you will also have the opportunity to work in the best hotels and restaurants. So Placement International work with 5-star deluxe hotels and Michelin-star restaurants, so you will have the opportunity to work in these places, and this will build your CV. You will also have the opportunity to live in the US up to 12 months, and also you will have time to explore the country, and also you will have the opportunity as well to train 32 hours average per week at the host company.
That's great. And tell us, how many times can someone repeat a J-1 visa?
Actually, this is a very frequent question we have. Candidates can repeat multiple times for the J-1 visa. Maybe it happens that they go to the US as an intern, they come back, and then they apply as a trainee. They need to consider that in occasions they need to wait some period of time, which is the 2 years. We always analyze the background of each candidate, because it may have different backgrounds. So depending on this, we always advise candidates which would be the best visa type for them. In this case, we need to consider that, for example, if you are applying for an F1 visa, which is the student visa, then when you come back home, you can also apply for a J1, okay, and vice versa.
It's amazing. And tell us, what are some of the potential opportunities J-1 visa holders have to travel and explore the United States?
So in this case, the J-1 program gives you the opportunity to go to the US up to 1 month before the starting date, and you can also stay in the US up to 1 month after the ending date. So you have these shoulder dates to go. If you like, probably you have some family members or some friends you can take advantage, and you can use this frame time.
Amazing. And about the requirements, what is the health insurance included with PI's program and with the PI services?
Certainly. So this is very important for you to consider once going to the US. And continue with our previous answer. You need to consider this time. So for example, if you're planning to go to the US a few days before the starting date, you need to know that the health insurance is included, but just within the training period, which is 12 months.
Okay. So within these 12 months, are there any cultural activities or events that J-1 visa holders can participate in?
Mm-hmm. Yes, there are multiple cultural activities, and actually this is one of the requirements we need to assign to all candidates. So when we create a personalized training plan, we need to ensure we assign different cultural activities for all candidates. Of course, depending on the city where they're gonna do the training and the season too.
Amazing. And what are some of the most common misconceptions people have come about with talking with you about like the J-1 visa program?
Mm-hmm. So in this case, I would say that one of the misconceptions is that candidates believe that the visa process can be done very fast. So in this case, we would like candidates to go to the US as soon as possible. However, we need to bear in mind that this is a process that has different steps, and we need to go step by step as there are different parts involved. Okay, it's not just the candidate, but also the host company, the sponsor, us. So we always need to ensure that we do things correctly, step by step.
Okay, amazing. And what would be some tips or advice you would give to someone who's applying?
Mm-hmm. So my advice would be to, not to overthink that much and take action. So this applies for life actually, and I would suggest if you consider doing this program, definitely take action and do it now.
Okay, so document-wise, is there anything people should be aware of or should need to know regarding like their documentation before they start the process?
Mm-hmm. Actually, we always provide from the beginning all the different requirements candidates need in regards to the documentation, and this applies for all the countries. So all the requirements are the same for everyone.
Okay, amazing. So we also have some questions that people have been posting here on the live. We're going to be replying to some of them. Mm-hmm. Just please, everyone, keep in mind that we might not be able to get to all your questions. You have sent us quite a good amount of questions and some more specific ones. If you want to get in contact with us, you can always write in and send us a DM, and we'll be more than happy to provide you with further information or connect you with our teams, such as Florencia here.
We would like to have a lot of time to answer all the questions, so we will try to answer as much as we can. If you feel that we are not answering yours, but please don't hesitate to send us a DM at the end of the live.
Okay, perfect. So a lot of people have been asking about what we know as the J2 visa or the dependent visa.
Exactly. So the J2 is a dependent visa which allows the J1 holder to go to the US to do the training program with the spouse or the children. The children need to be under the age of 21. Okay, that is very important for you to know. We have regularly candidates who are going to the US and they require the J2 visa.
Okay, perfect. So everyone who's been asking like what happens if I always apply for the J2 visa.
Exactly, and another thing for you to consider is that for the J2, you can't go with any family member. It has to be just with your spouse and children, okay?
Okay, perfect. So a lot of people have asked if Placement International also provides work visas.
Mm-hmm. Actually, we provide the J1 program that, bear in mind that this is not a work visa. Remember, this is a cultural exchange program, okay?
So we don't have the work visa, we don't provide them. The ones that we work with is the J1, correct?
Exactly. So we don't provide work visa, we provide the J1 program, which is the cultural exchange program.
Perfect. So we have people from all over the world. Someone's asking, they are from Ghana, and they want to know what are the requirements they need to apply, if there are any specific requirements for the country.
Okay, I believe this question is regarding the documentation that we need for the visa process. So in this case, as we mentioned before, the requirements for the documents to start the visa process are the same for all the countries.
Perfect. Someone has asked us if there is an age limit, or what is the age to apply for the
Actually,
program?
there's no limit of age. We work with different sponsors. Some of them have a limit of age. However, there's no limits.
So someone has asked if we can mention some sponsors, or if we have any sponsors we actually work with directly.
We are working with different sponsors. So as we said before, all of them have similar conditions, but for example, the age is one of them. So if we have candidates that are more than, for example, 36 years old, we do have sponsors that we can still apply for this J-1 program.
Amazing. Someone has also asked us if we do any kind of mock interviews or if we prepare them for the visa process.
Exactly. So in this case, we provide different interviews during the visa process. The first one is the introductory call, where we explain all the visa process to the candidates. Then we have the mock interview, where we coach candidates how they need to reply the questions to the officers once they attend the embassy appointment. And we also explain all the documentation that we need to take once they go to the embassy appointment. And then we have a third interview or call, which is also mandatory, that is called the pre-arrival call. This is to ensure, as we mentioned before, that candidates have the proper documentation to go to the US and consider different topics once they arrive.
Amazing. Someone has also asked, how is the relocation process? If we support them during their relocation process?
Yeah, actually, yes, we do relocation. It is not very common because in this case it needs to be as an exceptional situation, but we do relocations.
Amazing. And someone's asked, what do they need to do if they're interested in driving during their J-1 program?
That's a really good question. Actually, this is one of the benefits of the J-1 program, so they can get the driving license once they are in the US. Yeah.
Amazing. Someone has also asked, what are some of the advice or tips you would give to pass an embassy appointment?
Well, this is a very good question too. That's why it's very important to attend the mock interview, where we share all the tips to candidates. Depending on the country, this may be more challenging. However, I would say one of the most important is to have the document that proves ties to your home country. You always need to have documentation as a backup to prove that you are gonna go back home. Remember that the intent of the embassy appointment is to prove that you're gonna do the program in the US for 12 months, and after that you are gonna go back home. So you need to show up and demonstrate to the officer that that is your intent.
Amazing. This is a little bit repeating on what you mentioned, but someone says that they've already done a second J1, and if they can do a third J1.
Yes, certainly. We do have candidates who have applied 4 times and they've been to the US within the J1 program 4 times, and they can still apply. As I said before, you can apply multiple times.
Amazing. Someone wants to know what are some of the eligibility requirements to convert a J1 to an F1?
Well, in this case, I will ask you to send us a DM, because we will need to analyze your background and different certain conditions. So in that case, we need to give you a proper answer. Okay?
Amazing. So yeah, remember everyone, if you have any very specific questions or something more related towards your profile, you can always reach out to us here on Placement International. You can send us a DM, and we'll be more than happy to reply or to connect you with our teams, that they can provide you all the questions, all the answers necessary for you to enjoy your experience when you're going to the US.
I can see there are different questions. Thank you very much. It means that you really like the information we are sharing with you. So as I said before, please send us all the questions on the DM so we can reply to all of you. Okay,
so thank you so much, Florencia, for these minutes that you gave us and for replying to all these questions that our candidates have. I'm sure we'll still be getting some new and some more questions, but as soon as we can do it, then we'll be redirecting them towards the team and we will be providing answers. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your time. It was really great to share this live with you. I'm sure we will prepare another one soon, so stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.